Howdy, folks. I'm beautiful Bluebell, boisterously bouncing in blustery breezes.
I'm Amber.
And here are more blustery breezes for us to bounce around in, or Reddit. Kind of the same thing. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Flipping Out on My Mother-in-Law and Husband for Eating All the Food Before I Had a Chance to Eat? Ever since I gave birth 4 months ago, so I have 4 kids total, my mother-in-law has been showing up whenever she wants, and when she's here, she always helps herself to whatever she wants. She has never offered to help me or the baby in any way, shape, or form. She's basically here to see her son, and that's it. Like, about 3 weeks ago, I made a small pot of coffee, enough for 2 cups. I went to go nurse the baby while waiting, and at some point, my mother-in-law shows up, lets herself inside. When I came out, she had drank the entire pot. I had no coffee grounds left. Or she's eaten my leftovers straight out of the fridge multiple times, and she's always like, thanks for the food and coffee, as if I offered it to her, and when I absolutely didn't, because all she's doing is making my life miserable. I told my husband to speak to her about it, and he told me that he did, but I truly don't think so. I spoke up the last time that she was here, 3 weeks ago, and told her that she needed to stop helping herself because she's eating and drinking all the stuff that I wanted and or made for myself. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then stopped coming around for a little while. Well, today I made 4 homemade pizzas. I told the kids to come and help themselves to dinner and that I had to go get the baby down for a nap real quick and would be right back. Well, it took me like 45 minutes because the baby is fussy. She just had shots. I come back out and all of the pizza is gone, and my mother-in-law and husband are sitting there chowing away. I just said, "Are you kidding me right now?" My husband asked what was going on, and I said, "You guys couldn't have even left me a slice?" "Sure, let's feed the neighborhood before I even get to eat. That's just so awesome of you guys. Thanks." And then I start to walk off. My oldest son, 13, comes in and he's like, "Mom, I left you one out on a plate. I put it right on the counter." And he walks over and grabs it out, and lo behold, that one's gone too. Mother-in-law said, "I thought it was leftovers from dinner." So my son's apologizing to me, and even though he did nothing wrong, but my mother-in-law and husband are just standing there. They literally aren't saying anything. So I looked at both of them and said, "You both need to leave now." My husband then decides to speak, saying that it was an honest mistake and that no one meant any harm. And he said that I was making a mound out of a molehill, which honestly made me even more mad. So I snapped and again said, "Yeah, except every single time your mother comes here, I end up going without because she eats or drinks my portion of everything. But sure, let's defend someone who's taking food out of my mouth, shall we?" His mother storms out of the house, and my husband looks at me like I'm just ridiculous. So I say, "Quick, chase her," and he walks out. My husband thinks that I'm just mental, and that all of this could have been resolved if I had acted like an adult. He won't come home, but at this point, I don't even want him to come home because it means his mother will stay away. Alright, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. What is wrong with the husband here? Like, he needs to grow a backbone yesterday. His poor wife is feeding the whole family, taking care of the baby, and isn't bothered to, like, make sure she has any food at all. Like, in the son, like, I feel so bad for the kids in the situation, too, because the children are old enough to recognize what's going on. The 13-year-old tried so hard to save some food for his mom, and grandma comes in and eats it all. Like, this is not a healthy situation, and I think it's probably best if the husband stays far, far away if he's going to act like this.
So I don't think that the husband has a backbone problem. I think that he just doesn't care. Period. I think the OP is right. I don't think he confronted her, and I don't think he cares to confront her. I just think that he thought that OP was just going to accept the situation as it was and not complain too much and just continue to suffer in silence, right? And he's wrong. And plain and simple. And I agree with OP. Maybe things are best if he doesn't come back.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not being a good partner to OP at all. Like, I can't understand how someone could have it repeatedly brought up that, oh, all the food is getting eaten. Like, for him to be like, "Oh, well, if you just acted like an adult, like, she acted like an adult, and, like, he's not the one who's had to go hungry." I'm sure he wouldn't be very happy if OP, like, was eating all his food all the time. Like, if her mom came over and ate all his food.
Well, I mean, let's also look at this from the lens of the 13-year-old. A 13-year-old seems to have more empathy for their mother than their own husband, right? This tells you a lot about the situation. This means that the kids are starting to pick up on this.
Yeah.
And if the kids are picking up on this, this can't be a healthy situation.
No, it's not. It's not healthy for OP. It's not healthy for the kids. And, it needs to stop. If the husband needs to leave the relationship because he has so little care for anyone but himself and his mom, then so be it.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Flynn JM says, nursing makes you incredibly hungry. That's not so cool. I love how your 13-year-old took on the man of the house role by setting aside a plate while husband played dumb. Do you think mother-in-law is doing this to create a wedge between you, or is she just dumb? Is your husband scared of her? And OP replies, I think that she's definitely trying to drive a wedge. My older 3 kids are not my husband's, and our infant is his first child. Ever since I got pregnant, she's been pulling this nonsense. Okay, I think that explains a lot in this situation. I think that she is doing this maliciously and intentionally.
Oh yeah, I figured from the beginning it was malicious. I don't know why this particular baby triggered it versus the others, but yeah, I figured it was all intentional.
Well, I think the reality of that they're a family unit settled in, right? Like, oh, they get married, but they can get divorced. But now that there's a kid in the picture, she's realized...
gonna force OP out because, she's gonna be the number one woman in her son's life.
Yeah. I wonder why he's divorced. And Vast Video 7701 says, not the jerk, they are both infuriating. What husband is okay with his wife going hungry, especially when she needs the strength and nourishment to raise his child? He is a disgrace. And Modern Swamp Witch says, my favorite part is when he runs to mommy, leaving his wife with all the kids and no food. And Crocodile St. Jake says, ran to mommy after telling her to act like an adult. I mean, there is some irony in that. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for showing my legs at a costume party after a lady called me gross, triggering, and inappropriate? I'm a 19-year-old female and I am missing a leg, and I have a false one. I most often wear boots and baggy pants, so people don't tend to know that about me. Upon moving to a much hotter place for college, I've been putting more shorts into my wardrobe. One woman asked me to cover up because I could be disturbing and triggering to some people. I told her to go away and asked around about her, and managed to get invited to a costume party that she was going to. And I put on a Playboy bunny get up. She got upset and said that I ruined something that she had to cancel plans for her things for. Was I immature here? Alright folks, what do you think? Was OP immature? Were they triggering to all the other people with prosthetic legs?
No, OP has not done anything wrong here. Like, if this woman is so off-put by disabled people, then maybe she should go to therapy to work on this, because you can't expect people to hide their disabilities.
I think that OP is being extraordinarily unreasonable here. They should have just regrown their leg like a normal person. I'm just kidding, of course, folks. I'm just kidding, of course. Like, I mean, I don't know what this woman's problem is. OP, I'm sure, would love to have a non-prosthetic leg. The fact that she's saying that OP needs to cover up and, hide this aspect of themselves says more about her than it does about OP.
Right. You should have to suffer physical discomfort because I can't stand the sight of you.
Yeah.
It's really gross, ableist, thinking, and, it's just not okay.
Yeah. Maybe she needs to go move to the middle of the wilderness so that she doesn't have to see anybody who might be maimed. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, then our next letter is titled, My boyfriend lied to me about having children and being a father. I don't want to have any children or be a mother in any capacity. My boyfriend knows this, and I was clear to him on our first date that I don't want any children and have been sterilized. He told me that he never wants to be a father either. That was a lie. He's already a father. He had a room in his flat that I never went into. He is a project manager and told me that his job is partially done from home. Since his company has contracts with the government and the military, he said one of the conditions of his employment was that he needed a secure room with a locking door in order to be allowed to work remotely. I feel like a fool because I didn't question that. I have family members who work from home and some of them have a similar rule, so I never thought anything of it. He is a project manager. His firm has a government contract. However, he doesn't work remotely. The other room was for his sons. he has share custody with his ex-wife. His sons are 7 years old and 8 years old. I don't work a traditional schedule because I'm an ambulatory and emergency physician. He has told his ex-wife that his work hours changed and that he had his son stay at his flat when I was working, and they went back to their mom's during the days off. My shifts are all sorts of hours, and I also must work on the weekends or holidays sometimes. So honestly, I didn't notice anything amiss when we did spend time together. I found out because one of his sons had an emergency at school. I was with my boyfriend when the school notified him. We had been together for nearly a year and were talking about getting a flat together. I don't know how that would have happened because he shares custody with his ex-wife. My boyfriend said that he planned to tell me once we had moved in together. Despite knowing that I don't want to be a mother in any capacity or live with children, he said that he knew that I would love his children and enjoy spending time with them when they stayed with us. Our relationship is over. I'm angry at him for lying to me for the last 10 months. I'm angry at my brother because he introduced the two of us, and my brother knows that I don't want any children, and that his friend was a father. I'm angry at myself for not noticing what was going on. I'm here because I'm also mourning the loss of a relationship that I thought was going well. Alright folks, what do you think of this relationship advice?
I mean, OP, don't beat yourself up over this. You know, it's not your fault that you trusted someone. It's his fault for being a lying jerk, and your brother's fault for introducing you to. Like, this whole, oh, well, I was just gonna wait until we moved in together and then move my kids in and you'd love it. Like, that is just so gross and manipulative.
Well, relationships are built on trust. And OP trusted this person and trusted that they had fairly represented themselves. They made it very, very clear that they were not interested in children. And he took that, balled it up, and threw it away. And was like, yeah, you know what? Too bad. I'm interested in children because I already have two. And instead of being straightforward and upfront and saying, oh, you know, I'm sorry, I guess this isn't going to work because I have two children, he decided to try to be manipulative and just coerce OP into this role. And, you know, again, like, what was OP supposed to do? Be suspicious of every single person who comes around into their life and, you know, do a background check on them, search every room of their house. Are you hiding any children in here? Are you sure you're not hiding any children in here?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like, sometimes people do have, like, government clearances and whatnot, and there are things that they cannot have anyone know.
Yeah.
And, like, it's important for them to be able to maintain that privacy. And I don't think there's anything wrong with trusting someone that they're not misrepresenting what they do.
Exactly. So I don't think that OP is in the wrong in here at all. I think that they just had a very unfortunate set of circumstances, and I don't think they can beat themselves up about it.
And, like, it sounds like the boyfriend is, like, a master manipulator. Like, he somehow managed to hide all traces of his sons from the house when OP was there. Like, this was premeditated.
Well, it was very premeditated, and it sounds like he took a lot of care to ensure that every single I was dotted and T was crossed, essentially, right? So he would have to, like, clean up every single trace of a child anytime she came over, right? So he was very, very manipulative in this case. I'm just glad OP got out of that relationship before
they signed the lease together.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but imagine if he had managed to, like, it's just like core. I don't know. Like, it just seems like it's really good that she got out of this. What else would he be capable of? Is kind of what I'm going, right? If he was capable of lying for 10 months about having children, this is just the icing on the cake. So OP should count themselves fortunate that they caught this part of it at least early. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck, OP. And Miss Dark Splatoon says, he is a walking red flag. Never get back with him. And Sissy Jones says, her brother set her up. How ridiculous is that? I do want to talk about that for a second. Her brother deserves to be disowned at this point in time, right? Maybe he wasn't aware of, like, how manipulative his friend was. Maybe he just was like, maybe she'll just decide that she wants kids or something like that. I don't know.
I figure he has to know.
Yeah. Well, I figure he knows about the kids, but whether or not he's hiding it, like, that's on a whole new level.
Well, it is.
And Fox Catal 999 says, your brother is a terrible person. Do you have a bad relationship with him, or does he resent you? I couldn't imagine doing something like that to my sibling. I feel for you. I would be so angry about being lied to for an entire year. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Sister, haven't you finished that alphabet soup yet? Brother, not yet. I'm only up to the K's.
Yes, if you fish out your soup one letter at a time, it will take you an extended period of time to eat. Especially since the broth is like opaque. So you actually have to hunt for them, right? So you have to use your fork prongs to like scoop up the letters one at a time, and then you have to hunt down the letters.
Do you like order them all?
Yeah, order them and stuff like that. It can take some time. But it's not impossible. And I have Mega Mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks! I can't believe it. It's the start of the week. Wow. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please have it in the form of a newspaper headline.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Guy gets done for being a manipulative jerk.
Yes. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!